Hey y'all, welcome to Blackspan. And baby, I got something to talk to y'all about today. So I'm gonna give you I don't know, requisite, I don't know, a little context. So what happened was, I just want to tell y'all what happened here. I don't know the right term to use right now because I'm a little like flustered when I go finding out truths, and it just frustrates me sometimes what the truth really is. Um, so I was watching this video here, and then I was watching several other videos at one time, and it was like I'm a fan of hers. I love the work that she tries to do in the community, et cetera, et cetera. And during this interview, she said this one thing, and it triggered me because I know this to be a lie, and I'll tell you why. Play.
Where you can't have the man in the house, that's what broke us. You turn around and brought in that welfare, free housing to where you can't have the man in the house, that's what broke us.
That's what broke me. That's a goddamn lie. You know what I'm saying? And so I went to looking. You know what I'm saying? For what I knew that was wrong because I knew that the Social Security Act came into play, and it was really for widows and stuff like that. But I knew that came into play in the mid 1930s, and I knew why it came into play. I knew about it was just the orphanage were overrun, and they were trying to figure out other shit to do, right? And when I found a video that actually took me where I knew I needed to go because she was spitting facts that I already knew, and I was like, okay, she on something. So we're gonna put a pin in that right there, and we're gonna just speak conjuncturally. Yes, that's what I said. And I want you to know, if your woman, your wife, your girlfriend, your baby mama, your dip, whoever you laying pipe to, if your woman, whoever you supposed to be providing for, whoever you done secreted your biohazardous genes in. I said biohazardous genes. You know these niggas is biohazards. Anyway, if you the woman that you procreated with chose some food stamps over having your ass in the house, then you wasn't nothing no way, brother. You was not worth having. Let's be clear on that. Okay? Now then let's get back to this truth. Now I'm going to go ahead because I want to send my homegirl Grace the link to the video real quick. So give me one moment while I do that. But yeah, so just think about that from a common sense perspective. Oh, welfare took black men out of the home, and if it wasn't for welfare, baby, let me tell you something. Welfare was a response to, you had to already have been abandoned in order to qualify for welfare. In order to even now, to get food stamps, you have to already be abandoned. First they ask you, who was the father, where is the father? And you need to put his name on here. You write his name right here. So, because we're going to go recoup some of our assets for having to take care of you. Because he abandoned you. That's a requirement of getting welfare. It's contingent upon you being abandoned, you being a single mother. You have to be a single parented household to get welfare. Now, you can be a single father as well. That's very few and far in between. But you have to be the single parent. Families, thanks to black women, families as a unit, not as a unit together, can go get welfare. Thanks to black women. Black women did that. So y'all welcome. And I just thought I think it's quite odd that everyone believes this. Even when this is something else I was looking at that day. Where is it at? Where is that video? This is my live. So we're gonna do this one. So I believe I looked up black families in 1930s. I want to show y'all something. (1935) There it is. That's when the act. I want to look up 1848 because that's when I first started asking to go to married white hoes. But anyway. Now this is the 1920s, the Roaring 20s. The Roaring 20s was roaring. Excuse me, roaring. I can't. Why can I say roaring? Am I saying right? Roaring. Leave me alone. Was roaring because of us, right? We were an economic boost. This is when they realized we need these black people to be our customers. You know what I mean? But anyway, so the roaring 20s, we were entrepreneurial, we were married, we were raising our kids, we had families, we was together, etc., etc. There were a lot of biracials at that time, but for the most part, we had families. This was the roaring 20s. Now, between the 20s and the 30s to 40s, I'm gonna say between the 20s and the 40s, a 20-year span, y'all decided y'all didn't want to be with y'all families no more. And that's just what that is. That's just the truth. Now, what I didn't like is this right here. Right here, this is the one I'm talking about. This is the one that angered me because it blamed welfare again. And if welfare was really the problem, because welfare still exists now. According to y'all, black people get married. No, I know it's not true, but every black man on every panel I see always saying this figment of their imagination that 70% of black men are married. I already broke down that stat for y'all, and they married to black women. Very few percentage of black men even get married, even value family or marriage. And it had nothing to do with welfare. Okay, nothing to do with welfare. I honestly think it was their cowardice. They got scared to be a family. That's what I honestly think. You know what I mean? Because families were targeted. Families are hard. Being a wife and being a husband and being a father and being a mother, those are very hard roles. You know what I mean? And you can't opt out of them. You can't. And understand, with this being a patriarchal society, the onus on taking care of the family has always fallen on the man because this is a patriarchy. You understand what I'm saying? This is a patriarchal world. So, with that being said, it is male driven. So we can't necessarily say that and don't get me wrong, black women at that time, they worked too. They went and washed clothes, cleaned houses, fried chicken. They were still wet nurses. They went out there and actually got jobs. You know what I mean? Like in the 20s, women were working too. Women were entrepreneurs too. Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street, Wilmington, none of those Black Wall Streets and none of those Black districts, were created all on the behest of the man. Those were those families creating those businesses. And like in Tulsa, the theater was owned by a black woman who later on married another man. The doctor's office that was owned there, I forgot the doctor's name. I used to know it because I did a paper on him. But him and his wife worked in the doctor's office and kept the town healthy of what they call of Greenwood, Allen Pine. So it's like I want to get off task, but it's like you can't say that they came along and offered free housing. Why did the woman need a free house? Why did the woman need a free place to stay? You know what I mean? Like Dr. Umar said when he was being very flippant and sarcastic, and how do you say it? And I don't want to say he was reflecting. He was really dodging the questions that CynthiaG was asking. He said you got to look at the history of everything. So if I don't like how black men are disingenuous when it comes down to having a conversation about making our people better. If we're gonna look at the history of things, then we can't just say, oh, black women chose welfare over us. No, let's go get an adequate account of history, okay? And then we can begin to have an honest discussion, because black women get tired of y'all gaslighting them and lying and making this figment, this up in your heads. Yes, welfare existed. Yes, the government didn't want you to have a man and wasn't going to take care of you, and your man supposed to take care of you. Now, if you need me to take care of you, I'm willing to take care of you because you don't have a man. And this is a patriarchal society, and this is a patriarchal nation. And with that being said, the patriarchy is going to take care of the abandoned women who do not have a patriarchal man in the home. Then yeah, we got you. This is what the 1935 Social Security Act was all about, right? This is part of it. This is what the 1935 Social Security Act is the birth of AFDC. Okay? So let's get that straight. Give me one moment. I still didn't send this link. So I honestly feel as though people are, I don't want to say are in denial, because I don't want to be rude, but it's kind of like, how can I put it? It's kind of like when you know something to be false, right? Like, I'm pretty sure black men aren't dumb. They're probably master manipulators, especially when it comes to taking responsibility for our current predicament, but they're not dumb. You know what I mean? They know what they do and what they say. So I'm pretty sure that they know the truth about this welfare system, and they know the truth, right? So for me, I feel as though, like, they knew the truth about the Moynihan report. They knew that Moynihan report put the onus on them. Just like that other video where I said black men can't be literate, where he literally read that it's the fault of the fatherless home, and he flipped and said, see, it says right here, it's the fault of the single mother. Like, no, it's the fault of the father abandonment. So you go look at that video because I told him up on that one. But all I'm saying is that at some point, if we can't say, oh, it's a battle against the sexes and black men against black women and all this and all that, when the truth is, whenever a black woman starts speaking the truth, you feel slighted and you get upset and you're like, oh, she hate black men, she blaming a black man. Who hurt her? Nigga, you hurt me. The fuck? You hurt me. So now that we got that out the way, yes, I am hurt, I am disappointed, I am saddened by the current state, and the mental handicap, the mentality of black, and the pathology of black men. You hurt me, you disappointed me. Now that we've gotten that out the way, you know what I'm saying? So what does my feeling, or what does that have to do? Because you hurt me as a whole, as an entire sector, as an entire demographic. I am disappointed and sad and hurt by you guys. Okay, so now that we've gotten that out the way, does that change the fact that what I'm going to lay out today is facts? What most black women in this sector are laying out is facts. Does it change the facts that of the high infam Does it change the how black women are getting murdered every 5.5 hours, and most likely is by their own people? It doesn't change anything, and it's not going to change the facts I'm going to present here today. So let's get right into it. So I just want to show y'all what I was looking at. I was perusing. She came up on my timeline. I watched it, and I was like, that's not true. And as a woman, it really surprised me that that's what she believes. But with her having a PhD, it says a doctor in front of her name. I don't know doctor of what, but with her having a PhD, she has a lot of Western education under her belt. You know what I mean? So, and I'm pretty sure she's been listening to black male worshippers. I'm pretty sure she's been listening to gaslit about black men over generations and generations, because that's what I was told, that women chose welfare over their man. That's what I was told. And I believed it, until I got older. I was like, let me go see what really happened, because these motherfuckers be lying. Ain't no other way to say it. They like make me look ashy. I'm gonna give me some real lights and stuff like that one day. Y'all know I just come here to speak on it, so you can always just put it in your ear, in your little air thingies. So and I still didn't send the damn link, did I? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do that now, and then we're gonna really get right into it. So if everybody knows Irene, I'm sure she did a video on it, and I already knew some prior case law, but she introduced me to actual cases that I went and looked at and I went and read. Since I did attend Thurgood Marshall, I can dissect the what I was reading. I read it and understood it. When I read it with comprehension. Let me see. Let me go and copy this real quick. So at some point, we're gonna have to heal, and we're never gonna be able to do that if we can't tell each other the truth without you saying, I hate you or I'm mad at you. You know what I mean? I don't hate nobody. Yeah, I'm disappointed. I get mad at my daughter when she break curfew. Like, come on, man. Let's stop blaming the fact that women are these emotional creatures on the fact that we are speaking the truth and that we want you guys to do better. And you can't do better until you know better. So it's time for us to get to knowing better, and we're gonna get to know better today. So again, as you see from the title of this video, welfare did not destroy the black family. Okay? And just so we're clear on my stance, welfare was a response to the black family already being destroyed. It wasn't originally intended for black people anyway. So keep that all the way at 100, okay? So let me copy this. Cancel. Give me one more moment, guys, and I am coming. I'm sending out one more text message. Okay. Cool beans. Let's roll out. So first, I want everybody, if you're not subscribed to this young lady, go ahead and subscribe to her. This is Irene. I don't know if I name her channel. Radical Black Conservative. I believe that's it. So I love Irene. She's very well spoken. I just love her to death. Like, I love the points that she make. I like how she breaks down statistical math, because I'm not good at math, so I like it when she does it. She's just worth subscribing to, is all I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? So we all know the Social Security Act of 1935, which brought welfare into fruition. We all know what AFDC is. If we don't know, let's go look that up real quick so that we'll all be on the same page. What the hell did I put? Okay, aid to families with dependent children. Again, aid to families with dependent children was a federal assistance program from 1935 to 1997, because it was replaced by TANF and all that kind of stuff, right? Food stamps, all of that different kind of stuff. Okay. Created by the Social Security Act, administered by the United States Department of Health and Human Services, that provided financial assistance to children whose families had low to no income. Okay? Now, if you go look up the Social Security Act of 1934 here, see if we can find a brief description like we did Okay, Social Security Act of 1935, was a law enacted by the 74th United States Congress and signed into law by Franklin Roosevelt. The law created Social Security programs as well as insurances against unemployment. Okay, wait a minute. Because, Social Security Act addressed a lot of things. I want to get to the part, let's see, 3 main components. Let's see. See if they break it down in 3. No. So it was old people, the kids. Let me go back. So it was the old people, it was the kids, and it was the poor. Okay, that's basically what the Social Security Act was for. To make a long story short. Here we go. What did it do for children? Let's see if they have a little paragraph here. In 1935 was a landmark development of the health services for mothers and children of the United States. I think we're pretty much set on it. I think we pretty much know what welfare was and when it was created. Now, remind you, it was created in 1935. Okay, 1935. Now, prior to this, they had orphanages. Now, Irene covered this as well, and I thought that I was probably one of the only people who knew about this. But I read a book called The First Reconstruction that alluded to it, and so I started looking more into the Social Security Act, and then that's when I found out they were taking kids for not having fathers, putting them in orphanages, and it made me think of Peter Pan and the Lost Boys, etc., etc. They had mamas, but they didn't have fathers. Now, we're going to talk about these black women who was putting black men out of the home so that they can get welfare. All right. Now, I want us to pay attention to these dates of these cases, okay? So this is King v. Smith. This young lady right here, she was having sex on the weekends with a guy. She got caught, and guess what? They took her benefits. She went to court to fight for it back, okay? The decision in 1968 upheld that Hold on, where we at? The decision was a Supreme Court of the United States held that aid to families, which is AFDC, could not be withheld because of the presence of the substitute father who visited on the weekend. You know what kills me, you guys? What really kills me is that this is supposed to be temporary. You're supposed to get on this, find you another suitor, and get off of this. Because remember, this is a patriarchy. So these men are raising, in a patriarchal society, especially in the white Christian demographic, these men are raising hypergamous daughters. You know what I mean? They're raising their daughters to get with a man that can't take care of them. Hypergamy, I wish it's something that we still taught in the black community. Because I definitely teach my daughter hypergamy. Period. I don't care when she was a kid. If this little boy is walking you home or walking you to my car every day, he ain't buying you no popsicle. His mama ain't give him 2 quarters. I taught my nephew how to be with a hypergamous woman. It's Valentine's Day, bro. You can't be kissing this girl every day after school and don't take her no teddy bear. That's not right. You know? So, you know, yes, we need to reinstitute hypergamy in the black community. That would do away with a lot of our issues. Okay, so this is one case. Okay, she went to the court, Supreme Court, because they was like, she can't have no man, and we overwhelmingly love black men. She can't have no man while she receiving benefits. Okay, here's another case. Now I found a lot of them versus Bernard Shapiro. He was over the welfare in Connecticut, right? So these were state by state. They was going to the Supreme Court. These are class action lawsuits, okay? So bam, let's go. Here go another one. Look at this long list. Versus Shapiro. Hold on. I found so many names versus Shapiro, Doe versus Shapiro, and I click on just page after page after page of everybody just taking these people to court for their AFDC benefits. You know, and I was like, dang. So wow, and I found it very peculiar. And I want to see if you think it's peculiar as well. If you think it's peculiar as well, because before they even thought about their money. Now see this court case is in, now this is Dandridge versus Williams. They went to court because they needed more money for their welfare. This was it was argued in 1969. It was deliberated on and decided on in 1970. So they were at it for months in court because they wanted more than what they were getting. And the judge said, "No, y'all can't get no more than $250." And you want to know why I'm inclined to think that judge said that? Because y'all keep coming in here by the hundreds, suing each head of state, if each head of your welfare administration in your state, begging to have these men in your house that's not paying no bills, not taking care of y'all. And you want us to give y'all more money? More money? Nah, you stuck with this $250. And on top of you being stuck with this $250, since we don't believe y'all because y'all keep going to court year after year after year. Now remember, I found a case before the King case. So for years. So we're just gonna go from the King case on down from 1967 all the way to 1970. Y'all was in here begging for these niggas to be in the house. 4 years straight. We're going to say 5 years straight. I found a lot of old cases. 5 years straight. Y'all been losing y'all benefits, coming to court, arguing for your benefits, begging for your benefits. Just over and over and over again. Ain't time for to give you more than $250? No. Because to be honest with you, you was supposed to be on welfare for a short amount of time till you got your shit together, got you another man, and you got off welfare. That's what was supposed to happen. Or the father of your kid's supposed to come back after abandoning y'all. You was supposed to find another father figure for your kids. Because the government had a higher expectation for black men than black women had. The government was like, nah, you sleeping with him. I know he got to be taking care of you. He got to be buying you stuff, paying bills, doing for you. Otherwise, why are you sleeping with him? You are already in poverty. These are poor women. Make no mistake, because even today in 2022, you have to be under the poverty level. This is poverty. You got to be under that motherfucker to get welfare. You have to be under poverty. So you are already poor. You are poor. You are piss poor. And you are going to court and by the droves to the point where it's a class action. You know how many people got to go participate in a class action lawsuit to beg to get some dick? So you want to get some dick from a man who ain't supposed to look out for you or none of your kids. And then you know what's going to really happen? You know what's going to really happen, bro? You're going to get pregnant, have another baby, and get abandoned again. How you think these women end on this perpetual cycle of having 4, 5 baby daddies? Even now, men are using girls for their housing. Using girls for their welfare. I know she going to give me fat food off the food stamps. To this day, they exploiting women for their welfare. But they say we broke up the home. No. You abandon the home and then want to come lay dick on the weekends. But you know what? I'm going to tell you what black men love. You know what black men was really going? While your ass was going to court to have sex with him and not be provided for. He wasn't asking you to be his wife. Let me show you what they was doing simultaneously at the same time. That's what they was doing. They would Paceville, Alabama. This is an anti-miscegenation case. This is a black man going to court so he could be with his white woman in the 1960s. This what they going to court for. See, while you was getting abandoned and getting on welfare, McLaughlin, he down in Florida trying to marry his girl. Perez v. Short, same thing. All 3 of these cases are black male driven, and all 3 of these cases are before Loving versus Virginia. Before that white man petitioned the Supreme Court to marry his biracial girlfriend. She was not black. That was not a black woman. She was a biracial, and he wanted to marry her. If you go look up their family, they white. So I just think it's odd that we going to court to fuck with them. But this is why we were on welfare anyway. They abandoning the whole community. They jumping ship. And I found more than 3 cases. But these are the ones I'm most familiar with because these are the ones that CynthiaG have talked about in depth on her channel. So I'm very familiar with them. But these are Supreme Court cases. This is 1948. We getting lynched at this time, and you going to court to... Are you serious? Look at Emmett Till's face. Look at Emmett Till. Look at Emmett Till. Poor Emmett Till. This happened in 1955. Poor Emmett Till. So when he was born, they going to court. See, she another abandoned mother. They had to get on welfare. Mind you, the Social Security Act happened in 1935. Her baby daddy, this man right here, Mr. Till, abandoned her, and she was a single mother on welfare, raising Emmett by herself in Chicago. Chicago's always been bad. You see where I'm coming from? Hey, he probably ran off with a... Let me be quiet, child. Don't get me started. So, who destroyed the black family? Because we going to court to be able to date y'all, sleep with y'all, and probably potentially get in a new relationship with y'all. But see, what y'all doing is y'all coming in there manipulating, using us for our benefits, whispering sweet nothings in their ear, and then leaving them with another baby. Why do you think of these women, even back then, in the 60s, even in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, had 2, 3 baby daddies? Some didn't know who the daddies was. This is why you only get the most you could have got in benefits was $250. And this is also why they start doing welfare checks, because the judge said, "Say, man, these welfare officers gonna come to your house with the laws and see if you got some men in there, because this is ridiculous. We don't trust you. We don't believe you." Now, had black women not been so worried about dick and worried about their children, because y'all are in poverty. They are choosing men over their own kids' well-being. And so don't say we didn't want no black man in the home and we was choosing welfare over y'all. That is not the case. That is a complete and utter lie. We was choosing y'all over our own kids, which is a shame. I'd rather get some dick by a man that don't even care about men, not even to take care of damn child I got already, and probably gonna leave me pregnant with his seed. With his seed. Well, I got the seed. With his sperm. Leave me pregnant with another baby, still stuck on welfare in poverty. While he laying pipe. Cause remember this the pimp culture during this time. Bitches wasn't shit during this time period. Bitches wasn't shit. People was smoking that dope back then. They was on smack back then. This is pre-crack. They was on weed and heroin back. This is pre-crack. This is when all them veterans came back. Y'all not following me. A lot of things happened in the ghetto simultaneously, and we like this happened, then this happened, then this happened. This shit was concurrent, like a criminal sentence. You understand what I'm saying? So this black woman go to court and say, I need more money. No ma'am. Because past for 4 years, y'all been asking for men that ain't taking care of y'all. Losing y'all benefits, suing to get back on y'all benefits. We let y'all get back on the benefit program. But now we got to monitor you. So now we got to hire more people. See, by then, the welfare was costing more money than the government anticipated. They wasn't anticipating this. And that's why now when you get 10, they give you $12 motherfucking dollars. They give you $11. They'll give you $50 per child. This is why. Because y'all ruined y'all own shit. They trying to help y'all out. And y'all trying to help out some niggas. Baby, let me tell you something. You don't say once to abandon me. I ain't just keep having no goddamn kids and baby daddies and all that stuff. That's crazy. Why would you not learn from your mistake, ma'am? They going to court to marry white bitches. You going to court to fuck niggas. Like, and still be poor. Like, that's the thing. You were still poor. That movie Claudine is a figment of niggas' imagination. They just made that up. These men weren't rescuing these women off welfare, telling them to tell welfare kiss their ass. I'm gonna buy her a toaster and buy her a vacuum. Claudine is a lie. They went to court over and over again, was losing their benefits to keep messing with these dudes that was not bringing nothing into their home but dick and dust. You know, and it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. This is what y'all was doing. They going to court to marry white hoes. The man's daughter. They oppressed, but the man's daughter. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to believe what CynthiaG say, that black men thought freedom was being able to have sex with white women. Because that's what y'all was denied. Now knowing in a patriarchal society, they don't give a fuck about no broad. Them is capitalists. They care about their money. The only thing a real patriarchal man need is his woman to give birth to him. And I explained that when I explained to y'all the Isle of Lesbos and the Greco-Roman times in the video down there, when I was letting y'all know that the white man is a new black man. See, the white man now values his woman. He now is staying at home raising his kids. He thinks of her as more than an incubator. Now he's setting foundations and having generational wealth, which is something black people used to have. They used to value their woman, put them on a pedestal, was a real patriarchal, headstrong man, headed the household, took care of the house, bought the land, built the house with their own hands. You know what I'm saying? Everything. My grandfather paid off my grandma's house from the grave. He died 30 years before her. She got a check from Central Freight Line. One check went to her. One check went to the mortgage company. Another check went to my mama because she was the youngest daughter. She was still the child in the house because she was an oops baby. And you mean to tell me I'm supposed to get with a man that want to meet 50-50? I'm going to how bad the economy get. They paying more. You can get paid $25 an hour right now to be a hole watcher. Nigga, go watch a hole. Get a twit car to go watch a hole and work 7 days a damn week, 13 on, 1 day off during turnaround season, and then work some odd jobs till turnaround season, come back around, take care of your family. It don't take two income to take care of no family. One check will pay your rent. One check gonna be down to $2,000 in turnaround season. One check pay your rent. You got all these other checks for car notes, insurance, and groceries. Then if you manage your money right, if you married the right type of broad that ain't materialistic, and you weren't stuck on colorism and getting surgery bodies and manufactured bitches. If you married the right woman, she gonna make them checks gonna stretch. You gonna have a whole free 1.5 checks in that month. By the time turnaround season ends, she been saved you a quad. But see, anyway, that's off purpose and off point. What I'm telling y'all is they are lying. Welfare did not break up the black family. It was already destroyed. They already stopped loving it, already stopped liking it. Black men checked out, stopped participating in it. Black women was steady trying to find a man, steady trying to get a family, steady trying to get a family. You know how a fatherless daughter is all she wants is a family of her own because she did not have one. Black women still believe in family. It's most of y'all that don't. And the ones that do, don't go tell the ones that don't believe that y'all wrong for not believing. You wrong for thinking you could father from the outside of a house. Yes, you can. But your fathering, your parenting is more beneficial to the child when it's inside the house. When it's together. Because some things happen by the time they get to you, they forgot to tell daddy about what happened. Then I already talked to mama about it. Mama already dealt with it. When father probably would have took care of it in a different manner that shows some masculinity. Because a daughter needs to see masculinity so that she knows how to expect it and respect it when it presents itself in her life. And a son needs masculinity so he know how to exuberate it. Okay, there's a masculine principle and a feminine principle in every individual. And you wonder why your sons out here twerking, sucking dick, and thinking they boys. Thinking they girls. Come on now. Everything's a single mother fault. Nope. Studies show, and I have went on several articles, several medical articles, several journals, and showed y'all these psychiatrists are saying that it is because they ain't got no daddy. It's on the parent who left, not the parent who stayed. And you're not going to say the parent who stayed and raised your kids and got support from the government is her fault that you left? It's welfare fault that you left when the reason why you left is unbeknownst to her? And it's because you left is the reason why she got to get on welfare? No one gets on welfare when there's a provider in the house. Oh, let me put this nigga out so I can get $250 a month. Okay. Let's do the math. How much was... What year was that? What was it? 19... Oh, no, we're going to do 1935 when the Social Security Act was amended. I'm going to go back and look at that case. 1916, $132. Okay. So how much did it go up? Let's go see. I believe that this case was 1968. 1968. Okay. Let's go see how much rent was in 1968. Y'all excuse my dogs. Every time somebody walk outside, they be letting me know, which is their job, so I'm proud of them. Let's see, 1960. How much rent was in the 60s? Let's go see. Okay, so we're looking at $100, right? So that's half the check right there. So how much was groceries back then? I want to say maybe $50, $60. Then what about her phone? What about cab fare and bus fare? This woman is struggling. Now, I don't know where they was living at with this type of rent, but I know during that time, my people was paying $700 a month. But that was a mortgage, so I don't know. No, they was paying $524 a month. That was a mortgage. Then my grandma got another piece added to the house, and that made the mortgage $700. Let me see. So $250 wasn't going that far, and I want to know what state that was in. Cause ain't no way in hell the rent was $100 in the '70s. It wasn't, because my uncle Bush and my uncle Kevin, I talk about them rascals all the time. They was dicking bitches down staying in their apartments. They probably got some of y'all kicked off y'all welfare. But they were some handsome guys, baby. My uncles was handsome, baby. They were some handsome men. God bless them. I miss them. My favorite uncles. Now, well, so, and my Uncle Larry, he was crazy too, but see, he died when I was younger. Now, so what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is that they have been lying to us. Welfare did not destroy the black family, honey. The black family was destroyed, and welfare had to step in. And we had to fight to even get the welfare in the first place, because it was for white women. It was for white widows at first when it first came around. Okay, now we ain't gonna talk about the fact that men received welfare first. Now, this welfare act I could not find. I can't remember what it was called, but if I come across it again, I'll do a video on it. Men used to get welfare first. They hinted on it. If you look at the Gangs of New York, I believe, with Leonardo DiCaprio, all those poor white men, they got welfare first. Okay? And black men were not excluded from that. Black men, white men, all those men got welfare first. They would give because it's a patriarchal society now. They would give the man the check. He would go buy bread and stuff and take it home to his family. But this is conjecture on my part, because it read as if this is what happened, but I'm not sure if this is what happened. That's why I'm saying this is conjecture, and I'm kind of gonna paraphrase what was written. A lot of men would take the money and go gamble it, go spend their hoes, booze, and gambling. So that's when everything was improved. They actually made an act of Congress, and the Social Security Act of 1935 came about because of what they did previously did not work, giving the men the checks. So then they was like, okay, because these men, they ain't even got no family. They just getting this check. They're not feeding their family. They spending no booze and hoes. And they not going home. This is when they would leave the house for a pack of cigarettes and never come home. So they would get their low check. You know what I'm saying? From the soup kitchen, get their low check, go and say, I'm going to get some cigarettes. I'll be back. And don't never come back, because then they got their little $100 check, their little $200 check. They about to bounce. They about to roll and bounce. You know, they leaving. White men, everybody was leaving that bitch. It wasn't just black men. Everybody was like, fuck them kids. You see what happened on Harlem Nights? You know what year that was. That was before. Hey. That boy say, what is the phone? Hey. Let me talk to your mother. Yo, I ain't coming home no more. Take care of yourself. At least they got a phone call. Them niggas was just leaving. They ain't know if they was lynched, hung, dead. What the hell? They didn't know what was going on. They went to Supreme Court to marry that white man. This is what them niggas doing. Yo, I ain't coming home no more. But yeah, so they going to court suing for the right to have sex with black men. Black men going to court suing for the right to have sex with black women. And then y'all want to say welfare destroyed. There was obviously a disconnect long before welfare. Before 1935, definitely before the 60s, there was a disconnect already. And I honestly think it's because they didn't want to provide. They was going through so much in society. And I understand that the system of racism is a system set aside to subjugate a certain demographic of people. I get it. But you didn't have to let it defeat you. And now what's destroying the black family? Now what is it? Like we can't, now we done looked up the history of it. That was in the 70s. Like, come on. That was what, damn near 50 years ago? So what we doing now? 50 years later, we ain't been able to get it together yet. We don't realize we better as a unit. Our kids come out better as a unit. We need to kick the degenerates out the hood. This is why the guy Charleston said he down for snitching. He said because most of the men he know they got their life together, they did about 10 years in the pen. And that's something that an institutionalized man, the institutionalized man gonna come out, he gonna go get him a job, he gonna go drive him some trucks, like that man said. He gonna marry that girl that stayed down with him while he was locked up. He ain't be cheating on him, messing around on him. He done been there, done that. He don't want to go to jail. He don't want to get back in trouble. Them is humble truck drivers right now. Most of the dudes I know driving trucks, even in these plants, did 10 to 15 years. Flat on their back. Married. Love their kids. Love their wife. So maybe some of you niggas need to go to prison to value family. Maybe that's what some of y'all need. Because this is ridiculous. And here we are, like, damn near 100 years later after the Social Security Act was passed. And then the AFDC been over since 1997. So they been stopped running up in women's houses, searching, looking for a man, looking for the pants under the bed and all this stuff. All the way to the 90s, women was hiding your toothbrush, hiding your pants. And your ass in there living in this poverty-stricken home, but not contributing nothing but dick. Willing to get this woman put out her house. You're not marrying her. You obviously don't have enough money to take care of her because she's still on welfare. It's not like they was beating the system. I've been in some of these houses. They wasn't beating the system, saving money for a wedding or saving money and putting it up so that when you do get put out welfare, we can afford to pay for the house. And in the 90s, rent on a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house was like $700-800 if it was that much, depending on where you was living at. So what I'm trying to get you to understand is that from 1935 to 1997, women was begging to have black men in the home. This is not women that did not want men in the home. They were still sneaking you in there. They want the Supreme Court for you. And these men are saying it's your fault. You broke up the black family. You put that man out the house so you can get a check. Nah, I snuck him in there while I was getting the check. You left. You abandoned them. And it's that abandonment that created a constant, perpetual sense of not being connected to your children. It's not even from slavery, from you was a buck stud, the fucking all the slave hands or whatever you call the women field Negroes. That's not it. That ain't it. If that's the case, why we blaming some shit why is something from over 160 years ago still in your mentality today? And since you know that about your history, since Dr. Umar say knowing your history, you're supposed to be able to fix it. Nah. And then I'm hurt because I'm pointing it out. Nah, man. I'm not hurt. I'm just speaking from a factual place as a matter of factly. That you cannot say that, because I was a buck on a farm, and I made 30, 40 kids a year for my slave master is why I got 6, 7, 8 baby mamas now. Stop it. You guys are fatherless children, still suffering from the abandonment of your father, and you have misplaced anger and resentment towards your mother. And until you identify that misplaced anger and put that anger where it go, you're gonna have fatherless children. Because you're not gonna care. And you're gonna feel like it's her fault. Oh, your mama didn't let me see you. What? You got rights. Take her to court. I guarantee you the judge ain't gonna say, oh, you can't see your kids. Child support ain't nothing. I'm gonna be honest. Child support ain't nothing nowadays. It's especially for you broken, impoverished men. It's like $20, $40 a week. Pay that so you can have it set in stone. I get to see my child every other weekend. You can't say nothing. Every other weekend, every other holiday, and on Father's Day. That child is mine. Period. All y'all good for is a ride to school and a ride to practice. Y'all gotta stop. And you can't blame that on a welfare program that ceased to exist from 1997. Are you serious? A lot of these guys that's spewing out this rhetoric is 45, 50 years old. So when you was coming up, it wasn't none of this. Wasn't no AFDC. And families can get on housing now. Now it's Section 8. Families can get on Section 8. You and your husband can fill out to get a housing voucher if all of y'all are broke. You and your husband can get on welfare if all of y'all are broke. So it's just a matter of filling out the application. Like, and it's sad that the government had a higher expectation of black men than these poor black women did. Steady going to court, and the court is just steady telling you that in so many words, hey, if you are sexually active even on the weekends, you're messing with this guy, he's supposed to be contributing to your house. Rent back then was $100. You mean to tell me what was minimum wage in the 70s? Because we finna do some quick math real quick. Let's go to the 60s. So $1. So you making what, $12 a day? Right? Because most of those jobs, I know my papa worked his ass off a Central Freight Line. So minimum wage was $1 between 19. Wait a minute. This ain't right. The value of $1. What was minimum wage? I knew that wasn't right. That had been wrong. $1.60. Let me see. So in the 70s, we're gonna go to 60s. So it was $1. Period average, $1.29. So let's go to $1.29 per hour, right? So I wish I had a calculator on the screen, but I'm gonna use my phone. So we're gonna say $1.29. You get paid every week. This is before income tax, right? When was income tax law passed? Do anybody remember? Okay, never mind. So let's just say, and matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of these guys was on salary, especially if they did manual labor, like they was in a meat market and stuff like that. They wasn't making no minimum wage. But we're gonna go off minimum wage. Because most of the time they were skilled labor. You got labor and trades in high school. But we're gonna say they're making $1.29 an hour. Okay. Let's ask Google this. Annual salary in 1970. Okay, so $9,000 a year, right? So let's do this. It says $9,800 a year. So we're gonna take that same $9,800, $9,800 divided by 12. So you're making $800 a month. $800 a month in the 70s. We want to do the 60s. So $800 a month in the 70s, and you couldn't get this lady $100 for her cheap ass rent. Her cheap ass rent. Are you serious? Cause if she on AF, they gotta living in the ghetto anyway. So she definitely living in one of them $100 motherfuckers with them little efficiencies. So you making $800 a month, you can't get her one. Okay, let's do it for the 60s. Annual salary in 1960. Oh, damn, that was $5,600. So hold on, let's do some more math then. Hold on, okay. Hold on. $5,600 divided by 12. So you making $400, $466 a month. You still can afford to pay that $100. That's $100 for her and $100 for you. And if you digging her and you liking her, then why y'all not living together? This $400 a month is enough to take care of a family. If she making it happen on $250, then you can darn sure make it happen And they said all families across the board. Okay, say racism, and you ain't making that much. You making 300. She making it happen with 250. You can't take care of a family with 360. We're gonna say $100 less. 366. I'm just saying you can't. And then back then, why you can't work hard 2 jobs and be a bad broad? If you ain't on, sit down. I'm just trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So, and I want to know what man put this negative spin out there that said, "Oh, we put y'all out the house for welfare." No. I'm gonna tell you how this is conjunction, but I'm gonna tell you what happened. See, Tyrone was messing with Mildred. Tyrone over there messing with Mildred, and he was sneaking living with Mildred. Now, Mildred got 2 kids that ain't Tyrone's, but he over there laying pipe, eating the food. She cook every day. Mildred fine. The whole ghetto like her. So Tyrone over there mess with Mildred. He love him some Mildred, right? Tyrone ain't working. He do an odd job every now and then. He go down there to the car wash, Most time he go down there to the pool house. You remember that video with all the unemployed men at the pool house smoking and drinking? And they was doing them interviews? Go look at that video. It's down up in there somewhere. And the white man was interviewing him about being unemployed. Now, why is your broke, unemployed ass in the pool hall drinking and smoking cigars? You're supposed to be out there beating your feet looking for work. But okay. See, Tyrone got Mildred, so he ain't looking for no work either. All them niggas in that pool hall taking advantage of somebody with AFDC, right? So, let me tell you how the rumor got started that welfare took black men out the home. See, Mildred on welfare, it's time for her inspection. AFDC say, man, you gonna lose your benefits. Now they used to give these women chances. Don't act like they were just like, oh fuck it, you have your benefits right now. They give them chances. I've read some of these articles where they've given them chances, but for the most part they put them straight off of there. But anyway, so Mildred say, hey, I'm fit to get inspected. Don't come over here, Tyrone. You got to go. I see the AFDC people outside right now. My landlord already called me and said they about to come up here and inspect the house. Tyrone, you got to go. See, that's welfare putting them out the home to him. Because Tyrone had to make that welfare poverty-stricken house with Mildred his home. Now she on welfare already when they meeting these men. See, that's welfare taking them out the home right there. Now you can say that's strictly conjunction on my part, but I don't see any way that a reasonable person would say, knowing these facts that I just spewed off today, can say that welfare broke up the black family. You can't. Because we already show you already have to be abandoned to get on welfare. So the family was already broken up prior to the fact. You see what I'm saying? I'm sorry, y'all. It's my bedtime and it's cold here, the air on, and I apologize. I'm drinking some water. It's that time of night when I start. It's that time of night when I start doing all that, so I can go to bed. So y'all constantly blaming black women for all the ills of society. Everything that's wrong with society, from your boys want to be girls, from welfare, the corruption of welfare, everything is. Look how they blame. Look at this. Listen at this.
To recruit people into the welfare system, we relaxed the rules. If a woman had to declare paternity in order to qualify for welfare, the ACLU sued and said this is a violation of her privacy.
See, even back then, I don't like how disingenuous this conversation is, because back then, all the daddy do is come and sign the damn birth certificate. They weren't doing DNA tests and all that. They're talking about establishing paternity. He's using current terminology for things that didn't apply in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Like, come on, man. See, again, these black men be very disingenuous about what really happened, what really destroyed the black family. Because according to Chancellor Williams, in my book, I be want to pick this book up and throw it in y'all face. If you read the destruction of black civilization, he'll tell you it's all rooted back to a white bitch. How you think the Indians got to be biracial now? And they love to say, oh, yeah, the black woman was raped. Everything was the black woman's fault. Even our bloodlines being flooded with white DNA was all our fault. Because we allowed ourselves, we was raped. Y'all wasn't voluntarily making none of these biracials. It was a rape. It was all rape. Like, come on, guys. We cannot continue to lie about what's really happening. Because what almost say you can't diagnose it without knowing the history. He hit that. He wasn't playing, was he? Without knowing the history, right? But if y'all gonna tell yourself an inaccurate account of history, then how are you really going to, in present day, get to the bottom of stuff? Because now people gonna look at this video and say, "Oh, she mad, she angry." I done laughed, chuckled, joked at the expense of. I could care less, to be honest with y'all. All I'm saying is that this corrupt way of healing is gonna lead to more corrosion. No one's gonna hear. No one's gonna come together because y'all steady saying, "Oh, welfare took black men out the home." No. Welfare said black men couldn't be in the home, and we said, "Nah, that ain't right." We went to court to say, "Yes, he can. Yes, he can." The court said, "Okay, cool. Y'all don't ask for no raise. You want him now? Don't ask for no raise." Then later on, they say, "You know what? Nah, he can't be there. Because we take care of this man. This is the patriarchy. The man take care of the family, take care of the house." Nah, we ain't doing it. We ain't doing it. And then you wonder why black men got toppled so bad by white supremacy. You wonder why white supremacy had such a diabolical effect on the black community? Because you was living off them. You was on the white man's pectorals, sucking on them, trying to get some milk. That's why. Give me some. Give me a job. Please give me a job. Give me a job. Give me a union. Give me something. And according to the Moynihanreport, y'all couldn't even sell dope by y'allself. Y'all couldn't even hustle by y'allself. Y'all had to beg the Italians to let y'all in there. Y'all couldn't even be criminals alone. Like, are you serious? You couldn't be a bootleg by yourself. You had to ask your white daddy for everything. And you want to say it's our fault? No, you crippled yourself by stop being self-sufficient. Every time you build something, they burn it down. Well, build something now, see if they burn that motherfucker down. And even back then, when Black Wall Street got burned down, while they was over here burning down your shit, because the whole white town was empty. Why y'all wasn't across? Why y'all didn't run to the white side and start burning that shit down? They was busy over here burning down your shit. Why y'all couldn't dress in all back like the old men and go? They least expect it because they think you're scared of them. Because of what y'all let them do to you during slavery, Jim Crow, and Reconstruction and all of that. Instead of doing sit-ins at the white diner, why y'all weren't burning it down? Instead of selling crack to black people, why you weren't selling crack to white people? Oh, y'all think y'all slick giving us this dope. Wait till I get Thomas and Angie and them hooked on it. If the crack epidemic happened to white people, man, we would be in a whole different economic stratosphere right now. Untouchable. But now, I guess it's our fault too, huh? That's the Queen Pin's fault. Like, y'all got to stop it. And it's like, and I know people say it's not about blame. It is about blame. Because once you realize something is your fault, then you begin to be apologetic for it. Then you begin to feel remorseful for it. And then you want to be proactive in the correction of it. So it is about the blame. Because the reason why you blame black women for your sons coming out fucked up being raised in a fatherless home is because you want her to change and her to do better, her to do all this here. You want... No. You take the blame for what you did. Because we were steady trying to correct it all on our own. The Black Lives Matter was us correcting it. All these class action lawsuits to get black men involved in AFDC was on us. Like, we doing all of this. All of this. What y'all got? Booker T. Washington and what's that Blue Vein Society do? WEB bitch ass Du Bois. You got Marcus Garvey marrying his wife's best friend after his wife took a bullet for him. Like, y'all. So you're gonna bring all that mentality of not respecting women, not loving women, all that's a woman's fault? Are you serious? It's a woman's fault. You decided life got too hard, so you packed your shit up and left that broad and them kids because it's easy to just take care of yourself. It ain't because you some kind of tortured soul, some type of serial buck. It's from lack of prophylactics, not wanting to use them, and it's easier to leave than it is to stay. Because a father and a husband is a hell of a role. And it's easier not to play those roles. Like, come on, man. Y'all got to be real about this. This is crazy. I want to play some of Irene's video because I want y'all to look at 1970. And remember, this is after that, right? This is when they decided y'all get a cap on y'all shit. Nah, y'all can't get no more money. Y'all can't get no more money. This lady was suing, these ladies was going to Supreme Court to get their booty cheeks clapped by men who weren't even as broke as them, who was not going to take care of them. Like, let's be real. So in 1970, when they gave y'all cap, that's also when they decide to run up in y'all shit whenever they feel like it. When you get on when you got on welfare, you signed over your rights. You don't have no rights to nothing. You don't have no rights. That's how come when you on that's how come when y'all on Medicaid and they find out like your child got asthma or something, or you may give them that medicine or whatever the case may be, they can take your child for you can say, you know what, I don't want my child to be on steroids. Well, it don't matter what the fuck you want, because he on Medicaid and this doctor, these doctors gotta get money off that shit. He said he need them steroids. So if you don't give him this steroids, that's medical neglect, because you ain't got no rights as a parent. You can't make no decisions. There's medical neglect. Come on, CPS, take this goddamn baby. And put him in my homegirl foster care because she give me foster home because she give me kickbacks when I get her, especially when I get her an infant. Come on, man. Y'all put y'all kids when you abandon a family. Let me tell you something. Single motherhood causes anxiety. It causes depression. It causes stress. It causes hypertension, high blood pressure. It causes diabetes because of the type of shit you have to eat to survive just so you can feel full. It's very unhealthy. It causes gastrointestinal problems because some of the cheapest vegetables are the most gaseous. Like, come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. Because this is a patriarchal society. So if we living in a patriarchy and the families are failing, it's because we're in a failed patriarchy. So if we're in a failed patriarchy, who's failing? Who's failing? Do I have to say it? Or do we need to look at what a patriarchy is? You men are failing. And you've been failing since the goddamn 20s. How long are y'all gonna be failures? How long? Because let me tell you something before I looked up the word patriarchy. Black women tired of being failures. And they tired of waiting on y'all to pick yourself up from the bootstraps and come back home and be daddies and be husbands and be providers. They're not doing that no more. They're not waiting to wait until they get married to buy their first home with the husband. These bitches buying their home straight out of college with their first bonus check from being a nurse. That's what black women are doing. The most educated demographic of people. Regardless of color or gender, black women are the educated demographic of people. People. Our numbers are rising higher and higher and higher. Everybody want to go shoot a ball. Why none of y'all telling y'all sons to be doctors, to be lawyers? That's why I love that show, Married to Medicine. Because those are black doctors, man. Those are black. You know how hard it is for me to find an American doctor that's not African, that looks like me, that could have grew up in the type of area I grew up in? Yeah, okay. But welfare took you out the home. Okay, well when the hell you coming back? If the Social Security Act of 1935 and the creation of AFDC took you out the home, and the program ended in 1997, when are you coming back? All those fatherless kids of the 80s and the 90s, they now have they are now the parents of the fatherless kids in the early 2000s, all the way to 2022 now, from 2000 to 2022. They're the parents of these new fatherless kids. So when the fuck is y'all coming back home? I'm sorry. I just pictured like I thought I was a lumpkin. What's genuine name? Yeah, I got hump nail. You want hump nail? You want hump nail? I ain't do for you. That's what my daughter did. Well, she didn't do that. I did that. Why? Because I told her I want some 90s nails. But yeah, so I want to know, when are you coming back home? Since all these scholars, all these black men are scholars, they're well researched, they are high profile, high value, and they all know the root cause of all the issues in society, when the fuck you coming back home? When? Because as a demographic, we rich enough to buy at least a third of the United States. We rich enough. We can at least get Florida and Roanoke and all that back. We rich enough. See, but y'all love to get y'all money elsewhere. Remember what y'all was going to court for? While we was going to court fighting for a black family, fighting to keep us united, regardless of our economic situation, regardless of us being in poverty. We know what y'all was doing. We know what y'all was doing in 1948, when y'all was supposed to be rebuilding Black Wall Street after it was burnt down in the 20s, and Wilmington after it was burnt down in the early 30s. We know what y'all was doing. We know what y'all was doing in the 60s, when women was begging to get on welfare, begging to take part of the AFDC program, because it had to be expanded from widows to abandoned mothers. We know what y'all was doing. We know what y'all was doing. We know what y'all was doing. Look what year this is. What year you got the plantation? But this not even 10 years later. This not even 10 years later after the plantation. And this what y'all doing? But we broke up the black family. But we broke it up. Are you serious? Are you serious? Where's that picture of Pace? They got a picture of him. They love to make y'all think that this white man, this biracial. No. No. That was in 1967. That was way after. That was way after black men was going to court. Now, look at V Sharp again. Look at Pace V Sharp. Look at this, Perez V Sharp. Look at this. 1883. Oh no, not this one. Hold on. Pace v. Alabama. I knew it was one of them. 1883. Fresh off the plantation. I bet you got bigger fish to fry. Your ass is in five circuit court. You in the courts. You are in the courts. Asking the anti-miscegenation so you can fuck your broad, your white bitch. In 1883. This what y'all was doing. This what y'all was doing. So who destroyed the black family? Now, we were together as a family. You didn't own the plantation. There was more of us jumping the broom, trying to stay with our kids as much as possible. Master probably broke up our family and sold us off. So who broke up the black family again? Did welfare take black men out the home, or did Pace v. Alabama take black men out the home? Did that proverbial pack of cigarettes and loaf of bread and carton of milk take black men out the home? Because it wasn't that $2.50. Well, nobody wants to be honest and say nothing took black men out of the home. They just left. This Black Span, and I'm out.